From the News Channel 5 Network, this is MorningLine.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on MorningLine. Nick Barris here, live and direct for you this morning. I want to thank Ben Hall for hosting yesterday with me. I hate missing the veterinarian. I love Allison Fields. But thank you very much to them. Back today, live program for you. And we're going to be talking Social Security. It's our regular monthly, segment on Social Security. We're going to take your phone calls. 737-7587 is the number up there. You know it gets busy later in the show. You know you can call if you're in the process of applying for disability. You're wondering, what's the delay, what's happening. If you have a question about your Social Security benefit, SSI, whether or not you think you may need a lawyer, or if you want to apply on your own, all of that. We cover all the usual bases, but we've helped, I think, on this program over the years with a number of different folks who have come from Social Security, hundreds of people, and we want to do more of that today. So your chance to call, get through today, and not have to wait on hold or call the office downtown, and we'll try to help you if we can with, not me, even though I think I'm almost an expert now, Josh Horn with the Social Security Administration. Good morning to you, my friend. Let's get, I'm telling you, over the years, with the different people who have come on, okay, James Shanks, Daryl Payne, Daryl had been doing it for years. You, of course, and you're terrific. Robin Fountain. Oh, I missed that woman. Okay, I've learned so much. I remember when we first started doing Social Security, and I thought to myself, okay, I know we're going to get calls, and a lot of you who are dealing with Social Security say, okay, it's a great show. But at first I'm like, I was younger. I don't think I'm still not dealing with Social Security. I frankly thought, boring. And the truth is, if you take some time to listen and pay attention to it, even if you're not in the position to deal with Social Security right now, there's things you can learn about how much you're going to have in retirement, even when you're just in your 30s and 40s now, and how you can plan for it and how things work out. I mean, it really affects us all. And so I have learned a ton from you guys over the years. So anyway, the lines are open. They're going to fill up. But when you come on, I always like to ask you first off the top if there's anything you want to hit on. I see you got some paperwork here.
Yeah, there's a couple of different things that I wanted to mention. We're slowly moving the full retirement age. It used to be 65, and we're moving it to age 67. And so a few years ago, you started seeing folks, their full retirement age move from 65, and then it was 65 in 2 months, 65 in 4 months, etc., until we got to age 66. And then we kind of held out at that for several years. The full retirement age has been 66, and then by design now folks born in 55, which those folks who are born in 55 are turning 62 this year. So if you're turning 62 this year, you're among the folks who are now starting this shift from 66 to 67. So folks who are turning 62 this year who are born in 55, they're actually their full retirement age is 66 and 2 months. And then next year it'll be 62 and 4 months, and 62 and 6 months, and so on and so forth until we get to the final destination of 67, which was set up, like I said, several years ago. So folks that are coming in this year, and you may not necessarily realize if you're coming in to file at 62. You may not really think too much about your full retirement age, but it could affect how many months of reduction you're going to get and some things like that. So that's something that I kind of wanted to throw out there. It's something different this year that we haven't been dealing with for the last few years.
Are they going to be pushing beyond 67, though? At this point now?
At this point, there's no plan.
So for like you and I, as we stand right now, it's going to be 67 for us. It'll be 67 for us. And now, as things change, they may start pushing it to 68. Now, I understand the reasoning behind extending the time. I mean, there's probably several factors. One, life expectancy for all of us has increased.
That's right.
Okay, so I understand that. Beyond that, does it also, do you think, have something to do with the fund itself and how much money is available?
I think that's one of the things that are on the table as far as trying to figure out how to preserve the trust fund and preserve Social Security, with the solvency issues that they're talking about. But you got to remember in 1935 when the act was signed and full retirement age was 65, the life expectancy was 63.
Right.
So you do the math there.
What's life expectancy now as Social Security looks at it?
I mean, it's up into the 80s.
Think what a change. That's radical. Now, again, 67 is full retirement for you and I now. What will be early retirement you can start taking at what point?
At this point, it's still 62.
Okay, so
they haven't ever changed the early retirement age.
So at 62, I could start. 62, I could take it at 64.
Yeah,
So,
you can
different
take
levels.
it at any point between 62 and your full retirement age, but there's two things. One is there's going to be a permanent reduction,
Sure.
depending on how many months you take it early.
Okay.
So right now, you've got 48. If your full retirement age is 66, and you take it at 62, that's 48 months of reduction factors. Well, this year now it's going to be 50 months of reduction factors. So, there's going to be that math involved there. But you can still take it any time. They haven't changed that. But the other thing is you're going to be subject to the earnings limit. You can only work and earn so much and still draw your retirement when you're below your full retirement age.
Yeah, and that's where, again, go online. Go to. In fact, I did this the other day. I went on, and again, it had been a while since I'd been there to look at it. It's what is it called again? Just my.
It's my Social Security.
My Social Security. Yeah, and you can go on, and open up your own page and look at it, and you can guesstimate yourself how much more you'll get if you can afford to wait. And it is a significant difference. If you can wait, I mean, it's probably a good idea. And it also is interesting, like I said, I love going on there and looking at my salary history over the years, over the last, realizing how much I was making in my first job and wondering how the heck I lived. By my first job, I think I was making $12.5. Had roommates and was eating lots of ramen. But back then, $12.5 was a little more than it is today. But
yeah, you mentioned a great point, though, is looking at that estimator program, because several years ago we used to try to do some math for you and kind of show you the pros and cons of waiting. We don't really do that too much anymore, and the reason why is because everybody's life situation is different. Your life expectancy, you may be dealing with something where you don't expect to live much past 65, so you want to get the money now. Or everybody in your family may live to 110, and you need to wait as long as possible because you're going to be looking at drawing that for the long term. So everybody's situation is a little bit different.
And again, Social Security is not something that is meant to be your sole source of retirement. If you do that, you're going to be hurting. Okay, it's a supplement to it. And I know there are people out there watching now that are living on Social Security, and they'll tell you it's not easy. So hopefully you have others to go with it. What's the average maybe draw for people on Social Security? I mean,
the benefits?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
The very top, the most you can get every month in Social Security, again, it was, and I know this, I ask you this every time show. Is it 20-something?
Yeah, it's $26.87 this year.
That's maximum. That's
the maximum. That's if you paid maximum taxes every year.
Up to $250,000 is what it's taxed on, right?
Well, the actual Social Security max is about $127,000.
127.
Yeah, and then after that, you don't pay any on Social Security after that. But the average is about $1,355, about $1,355 a month. That's the average.
Is what the average individual gets, which is not bad, but if that's what you're living on every month, it's tough. So that's why you always think, all right, let's try to have something else set aside, and I know not everyone can, but if you're living on Social Security alone, those of you out there, call in and tell us. It's a tough road. All right, listen, the lines are filling up. We've got two lines open, 737-7587. Let's take one call at least before we go to the break, and we'll go to Joe. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning. Nice to hear from you, Joe.
Okay, good. Just one quick question for Josh. If a spouse has never worked and paid into Social Security, and the husband is drawing the 65 Social Security amount, can the spouse draw any money since she's never worked or paid into Social Security?
Right, that's a good question, and the answer is typically is pretty much yes. That you can draw spouse's benefits. It would be kind of the same rules as if she was drawing retirement on her own. I mean, age 62 is as early as she could draw, and then she's got her full retirement age. And we've also seen it the other way too, where maybe there's a situation where the husband didn't work, and he ends up drawing off of his wife's account. But yeah, spouse's benefits now it's up to 1/2 of the benefit amount of the primary number holder. So if your spouse was drawing off of you, she wouldn't draw the same amount. It would be about half.
Does that help, Joe?
Yeah. That was the quick question I had.
Fair enough.
One other quick comment I'll make.
Shoot. Yeah.
According to AARP and some of the other feedback programs, actually the actual life expectancy age has gone down instead of up.
Is that right now? That doesn't surprise me. I mean, with the way things are going sometimes with healthcare. So, do you know what where are we at about? Are we talking in the 70s, low 80s?
It's in the high 70s.
Okay. Yeah, hey Joe, thank you for that. That's interesting. I need to check on that and see what I may do a search on that as we go to the break. But I think he may be right. And in some countries, that life expectancy goes down. You would think in an advanced country like ours with the medical, it should continue to grow. Problem is, we all know that some people have trouble getting access to medical care. So listen, we'll take a break on that note when we come back. Marcia, Kenny, Randy, Blaine, if you're all there, we'll get to your phone calls when we come back. And if you're thinking of joining us, call in now. We've got a couple lines open. We're going till 9 o'clock with this big man here, Josh Horn. Oh yeah, he won't bite. Give us a call. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.